Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua, Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris? What up, everybody listening?
Ooh, yeah. It's just me and Josh today, doing an all-American comic episode. Very excited to get into it. But first, let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram as well.
Ooh, yeah. You can follow Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Follow his Twitch stream where he plays video games live for a studio audience at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Very fun gamer to watch play. So get into it. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about. We will we'll receive all comers, you know? If you want, you can also comment on whatever video version you're watching of this. And while you're at it, subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. Get our YouTube popping, everybody. We're uploading stuff, so get into it. If you prefer the audio version of the podcast that usually goes up first, you can check it out on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon Music. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we are on there. And I think that's it for plugs. Without further ado, let's get into the show proper. I'm giving you 5 seconds to get your big boot ass on the floor. Batman. This is Batman number 113. This is Fear State Part 2. There's a couple of... This is a big Batman event, I guess, to close out James Tynion's run on Batman. And this is the second part of it. Last we left off, the Scarecrow got Batman tripping on his drugs, and Batman's been like kind of running around trying to pick up the mess that has been created by Scarecrow and also Sane Industries with having a homicidal super soldier cop out there. So you know, he's got a lot on his plate right now. At the same time, Oracle has been hacked, and you know, someone's using the face of Oracle to give off a signal that Batman's dead. Poison Ivy is trying to be resurrected by Harley Quinn, who is on her way to find a missing piece of Poison Ivy. And there's a lot going on. Nightwing's back in Gotham as well, but they don't show that in this book. Batman pulls up to Renee Montoya's office, and she's like, "You're not dead." And he's like, "Yeah. People do this to me every arc. I don't know why people are surprised."
I'll never die.
Yeah, I don't know why you think I'll die. Because my one superpower is not dying.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, basically Batman explains the situation that, you know, Scarecrow has been kind of let in to the city and is running his big old Fear State experiment through the Magistrate program thing. And he basically is trying to get Montoya to help, you know, like keep things under control on the ground level. Batman comes across like a bunch of these magistrate soldiers who are, I guess, like these robot things. I don't know if they're people in them. I don't think they are, but they pull up to him, and this is pretty cool where he just looks at these these NPC AIs, and are like, "Simon, I hope you're watching this closely."
Yeah.
And then proceeds to just like beat the shit out of these robots while also telling Simon Saint that he swears to God that he's going to make sure everyone knows that this was his fault. And Simon is like, gulp. You know, he's worried.
Yeah. That was my favorite picture in this whole comic.
Agreed. Batman goes back to his townhouse hideout lair thing, and he is there with Ghostmaker, who he asks to kind of enter his mind with him and, you know, try to figure out exactly if Scarecrow's fear toxin is still in his mind in one way or another. They enter this like kind of in this physical manifestation form. Batman is in his bat suit But Ghostmaker's looking fresh as hell with his jacket and black shirt combo. They fast forward to the moment where Bruce has been kind of like held down by Scarecrow and is just sitting down in a wheelchair while he was in Arkham. And the Scarecrow seems to know that they're in Batman's mind, but this is obviously just like an advanced fear toxin that kind of anticipated something like this happening, Batman going into his own mind and trying to suss him out. Josh, did you say something? I think I missed you.
No, I just said, wow, like, and... Oh, never mind. Keep going.
Yeah. No, well, in any case, the Batman that's like stuck in the wheelchair kind of gets up and starts attacking them. And then Ghostmaker realizes, like, oh, wait, this isn't real at all. I'll just kill this thing, whatever this is. And he just proceeds to do so. Cuts them
I thought Batman was going to get mad anyway.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, all life is sacred, even the ones in my head. Even the ones that don't really exist in my mind. I'm a little confused as to how this goes because Ghostmaker does this, but then like Bruce is also in this jail cell. And I'm like, wasn't he right beside him just like 2 seconds ago? Did he disappear for some reason? It's weird.
Yeah, because it's in his mind. It's definitely weird.
Yeah.
He carved up the two straw people, Batman's mind friends.
Mm-hmm.
And he went into a jail cell to sulk. That's exactly what happened.
Oh, I can't do anything. I'll just hang out over there and be sad.
Look at this panel. He's ashamed.
Yeah, he's so sad. He
can't believe I associate myself with someone that would do that.
I can't believe this is my rival. I'm so competent. I'm too confident for this. So we get in. Ghostmaker starts to share his own memories, and apparently he knew Scarecrow from back in the day. They went to college together, apparently. Which is
look at this.
Yeah, which is like I guess pretty coincidental. Yeah, he's like who talks?
We can do that and this. And
yeah.
Fucking weirdos together.
Yeah, and for whatever reason,
all right, buddy.
For whatever reason, this doesn't set off any red flags in Ghostmaker's head. It's seeing this ginger guy going like, ugh. But yeah, he basically goes to college and meets Jonathan Crane and tries to like talk about feelings because Ghostmaker's kind of a sociopath and he doesn't really have any feelings. So, he runs into Scarecrow, young Scarecrow, and Scarecrow just like goes off about his theories about the fear state and how this whole thing is about, putting Gotham through a big old like traumatic event and allow Gotham like the opportunity to destroy the thing that they fear most so that at the end of it all they come out stronger. So in theory, like Scarecrow's like, if they can destroy me, they'll be stronger for it. And I want them to, I guess. So, yeah.
What is wrong with him?
I don't know, man. Scientists, it's not about this. I guess he's just like, I want to see if they do it.
So violent.
Yeah.
Like, and self-loathing.
Yeah. There are better ways to do this,
Right.
Meanwhile, back outside of Gotham, the Peacekeeper has seemingly killed a bunch of people. It's unclear, but they look dead. It looks like he killed them. It's not looking good. But at that point, that's when Peacekeeper X pulls up in front of Peacekeeper 1 and is like, hey, just come with me, all that stuff. And Sean Mahoney, who is Peacekeeper 1, is still going through it mentally because he got doused with the fear toxin a while back. And he is just freaking out. He's like, no, I'm going to be the hero. Me. Ah. So, I guess Peacekeeper 1 and Peacekeeper X are about to square off. And this is when we get Batman at the end saying that he's controlling him, pushing him. Scarecrow is turning the city into a powder keg, and Peacekeeper 01 is the match that's going to blow it all to hell. And that's where that issue ends. There's a backup story featuring that one kid, Clown Hunter, but who cares? So
who cares?
Yeah. I thought this issue was pretty cool. The art is fantastic, but I think it's like more of a transitioning thing to the real meat of the event itself. Just squaring away a few things, getting some expositional stuff out of the way. Now we have an objective, and we're moving toward it. I don't have many thoughts about it. Do you have any thoughts, Josh?
Not much. No. Unfortunately not.
It was a good issue, though.
It was good, yeah. I mean,
It was just it was just a like a more administrative, get things squared away before we get into the real meat and potatoes of it all. But
yeah.
Without further ado, I think we could move on. Good issue overall, of an already pretty good Batman run. So let's get into it. The X books. We have 3 of these, starting with X-Corp number 5. I think I'm pretty sure this is the final issue of X-Corp. And yeah, I guess let's get into it. Last we left off, there's been this big old arc regarding an ionospheric bandwidth generator.
Yeah, like I don't know what the name of this chapter is, or if there's even a name, but it's basically ionospheric generator part 5.
Yeah, this entire series should have not been called X-Corp and instead have been called ionospheric bandwidth generator. I would have appreciated that more. But so
Vicious, with Vicious Monet.
Vicious Monet and Mean Angel,
Kinda. He wasn't mean. Yeah. Now he is.
Now he's mean. Okay, so this whole arc has been about X-Corp trying to get into the telecommunications business by creating the world's strongest internet thing, which is the ionospheric bandwidth generator. And it didn't go well. There was some annoying business mumbo jumbo happening regarding Noblesse, pharmaceuticals, having a beef with them and whatnot. And then at the end of it all, X-Corp was like, well, you know what? Let's just buy their entire company. But at the same time, that same company invaded X-Corp's headquarters and killed the main Jamie Madrox. So, yeah, that happened.
Is that what happened?
Yes. So,
damn.
Madrox's clones are still out there. They don't die, apparently, with him. So, they're still out here.
Oh.
And they seem to have captured some of the guys, but then, like, more guys show up and just... Oh, no, wait, no. They captured some of the goon soldiers that killed the main Madrox, but then, like, they eat what I thought was a cyanide pill. It just turns them into super soldiers, and they start killing the other Madroxes. At that point, that's when Monet and Angel pull up to where the trouble was happening, where they meet up with the Fenris twins, who are apparently the children of what's his face? They say his name like 20 billion times, and I'm forgetting what it is. Strucker.
A human?
The Strucker guy. The Nazi anti-mutant guy who apparently had mutant children.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's sick.
Yeah. So, they're in conflict. We already met these guys before in the gala, but now they're back just stirring up trouble. Apparently their ability is that they just shoot energy beams, but only when they're touching. So their power really is only activated if they're like holding hands or whatever.
Boo. Right. Now you know what that reminds me of? Plus and minus.
Más y menos.
Más y menos, yes.
Más y menos, si se puede.
They were really cool characters.
Yeah, unlike these guys. They were just mutants, but also Nazis, but also not. Because turns out they don't really care about humans either. But anywho, we'll get to that. They give Archangel and Monet a lot of trouble, despite the fact that Monet is actually stronger than them and could beat their ass as long as they're not touching each other, which they're not for the majority of this battle. They're just normal folks if they're not touching. But unfortunately, throughout the battle, Archangel drops one of the Fenris twins while they're in air, drops them on her brother, and then they blow up the X-Corp facility. Derp X-Corp. So everybody else on the inside, that St. John lady is part of this apparently, and her and her henchmen are just going around killing Madroxes until Trinary stops them. Oh, not stops them, but captures St. John. But then more of the enhanced soldiers pull up and are causing trouble. But Trinary is non-violent, so she saves herself and St. John, who is attacking the fucking the X-Corp headquarters. In the meantime, the Fenris twins make it to the ionospheric bandwidth generator, and are going to blow it up because fuck mutants. And
yeah, mostly out of spite.
Yeah, but never fear, Monet and Archangel come back to fight more, and they still are not effective at all. Archangel throws a bunch of knives at the Lady Fenris, and they all miss, it looks like. So she's able to somehow get the jump on them by just randomly shooting their gun at them and I guess backing them off, even though Monet should probably be bulletproof in this form. I'm not sure.
I mean, it looks like she's not getting hurt.
Yeah, much. I don't know. So, yeah, they planned this out so that, even though they're mutants and they're directly attacking Krakoa, they've planned this out so, this whole day happens. They'll, suicide bomb the X-Corp building and kill everyone. And if they get resurrected, they won't have any memory of having done this. So they can, I guess, play off the fact that, this wasn't them and they could still be considered Krakoan citizens. So there's that.
That's pretty elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one smart thing about... You know what? The Fenris twins have, severely outplayed both Monet and Archangel to the point where I'm like, why? What's the point? They're so dumb.
Severe.
Yeah. Anyway, this Jean-Pierre Cole, the businessman whose business they bought, he killed a bunch of Madroxes, and then that psychic lady... Lady Serene, I think her name is. She pulls up and is like, "Aha, I am bulletproof. You can't kill me." And then, taunts this guy Cole, and is just like, "Yeah, you will suffer for your things." But it turns out that this Cole guy has poison in his system, he has artificial blood and whatnot. So he somehow poisons Celine, and then just is about to drop her off of a fucking cliff, but they get separated by a rock that falls down. It's weird. It's meh. A lot of luck happens. And this is kind of where it gets kind of confusing because, the Fenris twins are now holding hands in front of the ionospheric bandwidth generator, and they're planning on blowing it up, blowing it to hell. And then the remaining Madrox clones just kind of link together and I guess continue to replicate. What they do is if duplicates are staggered around an energetic core meltdown of sufficient force, the resultant energy will produce additional dupes at a diminished rate until the duplicates have entirely absorbed the blast. So they're hoping, the idea was that they'd clone and hold hands, and then when the Fenris twins finally explode, the sheer energy from that explosion would create more clones to absorb a lot of the impact from the ionospheric bandwidth generator. And it works. And the day is saved. Madrox is reborn and is finally allowed to spend time with his family.
Nice.
Trinary is an official board member. And the issue ends with the St. John lady talking to the Gearich guy from Orcus.
Right.
I guess she's going to work with Orcus now. And that's where the issue ends.
Oh, man. Fuck Orcus, man.
They're everywhere, man. They pull up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. This might be, like, X-Corp is funny because it might be the only series that we've actively disliked. Like, I think we're pretty positive a lot on this show, but we just couldn't get it over on X-Corp. And, you know, I don't want to, like, beat a dead horse here, but there's just, like, not enough characterization, and the concept wasn't really explored a lot. And this is, like, a book I thought had a ton of potential, and I don't know if it's over, like, it seemed like it, and things I've seen online say that this is the final issue, but...
It's at the end.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. That's what, like, prompted me to be like, is this the last one? And... yeah, I went on a little bit of a Google tear, but yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm like violating for no reason. But it's also like it felt like a chore because there was a lot of dialogue I just didn't understand and didn't care about, and everybody sounded the same. It's all like busy business people being evil business.
Even the good guys.
Yeah, even the good guys, which is fine, but it wasn't interesting. Maybe if Hickman wrote something like this, then, you know, his spicy language will, like...
I just assumed it would be Hickman doing this. It's just...
I mean, the covers look like his, you know, like something that come out of his, like, book as a cover like the X-Corp covers. And that, like, the covers of the X-Corp are probably, like, the highlight of the series.
Yeah.
In all honesty. They have some pretty cool covers. But, yeah, it didn't really grab me at all. And I'm not gonna say I'm glad it's gone, but I'm not happy I don't have to read this again. But that's all I got to say about X-Corp. Do you have any final thoughts for the series?
I don't have any final thoughts for the series because peace out. See ya never. But I do have something clever to say regarding the next issue of X-Men. Okay.
Sorry, caught me drinking water.
No, you good. Okay.
Yeah. So let's get into it. This is
Wait, no, hold on. I got something clever to say. Let me see if you can get what I'm saying. Okay. A Pikachu turning into a Raichu while smoking weed.
What?
High evolution.
High evolution? Oh. Is this has something to do with the next issue?
Yes.
Okay.
High evolutionary.
Oh, the high evolutionary. You should have waited for me to introduce the context.
I said it has to do with the next issue.
Yeah, but we could have. The people don't know what we're talking about yet.
I was a thirst bucket. I was just ready to get over X-Corp.
Well, let's get over X-Corp then. This is X-Men number 3. And last we left off, it's been kind of like Monster of the Week type of a series. The X-Men have been fighting these intergalactic threats that are being sent down from space as a result of the game world. This mushroom man who is
Cordyceps Jones.
Yeah, he's just out here just challenging aliens and alien conquerors to go down to Earth and see who can actually fuck up humans the most. And so far, everybody who's come down here has had to contend with the X-Men that were elected by Krakoa to be, I guess, the heroic representation for Krakoa across the world. And we're starting off this one with X-Men all assembled in Vietnam, where a giant fucking ship has just pulled up to Vietnam.
An incredibly large ship.
Yeah. And a team of aliens pull up and are just like, "Hello, we've come to give you a gift. I have this sphere. It's supposed to, I don't know, cure
A Sophia.
Yeah, it's supposed to cure, I don't know, climate change or something."
It does multiple things. It does that. And apparently it can also sterilize the human race. Yikes.
Yikes. Well, we don't want that. Not at all. So, you know, they're introducing this sphere of climate change and sterilization, and Rogue is immediately like interrupting, like, we don't want it. We don't, because apparently Rogue has a history with these folks. So, you know, as they're talking, Rogue just like manga punches the shit out of this high evolutionary guy. It's very reminiscent of One Piece, in all honesty. And big old fight. This is a big old fight chapter. That is very cool. I will say that Pepe Larraz's art is still top notch throughout this entire battle. They're going left and right about it. Every mutant's showing their thing. But you know what? This high evolutionary is actually proving to be a bit much for them because they're all just so fucking strong. At that point, there's a point where Sync steals the daughter of the high evolutionary's powers and is like, "I have her powers now, so, you know, if you don't want me to fuck you up with her powers, then, you know, get off of Earth." And the high evolutionary is like, "I just turned them off, stupid."
That's crazy.
Yeah. Talk about OP.
Yeah.
And he said, "I will withdraw my gift. Humanity will simply have to suffer, and I will forgive the aggression visited upon my hosts in return for his blood." And funnily enough...
Not again.
Yeah. Funnily enough, X-23 pulls up and is like, "You can have all the blood you want when you're standing over my dead body." But you know what? Sync is like, "You know what? It will end. If we just do this, let's just get this out of the way." And they cut his finger and he tosses a bit of blood. The high evolutionary just catches that shit, just palms it. And it's like, "Thanks."
Yes, thank you very much.
This will be sufficient. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
This will come back to bite you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. To be fair, they addressed that. You know, I like how they kind of like addressed it as like, yeah, you know, we fought this guy before. You know, it's gonna come back to bite us. But you know what? When the time, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The priority here was saving lives, and we were getting our asses kicked pretty bad. So, you know,
Cyclops definitely was.
Oh yeah. I do appreciate. I mean, like, hopefully their plan is like, next time we'll just get our entire country of superpowered people to fuck them up. But, you know, cross that bridge when we get to it, I guess. We have this informational page that's really like a communication between the High Evolutionary and Jean Grey, where this guy, the High Evolutionary, is explaining about what's this dude's name again?
Cordyceps Jones.
Yeah, Cordyceps Jones.
Cordyceps Jones.
Cordyceps Jones.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, Mr. Jones. How is it that this mushroom has the last name of Jones?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe that's the human
I
who took
like
over.
it though.
He's got a cool ass design. I'll give you that. He does look cool, like him coming out of the body of an astronaut. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's I mean, did we mention how the art is really like super carrying this series?
Yes, I mentioned that, but if you want to restate it, you can, because I don't think you can say that enough. Almost every panel of Pepe Larraz's art in the last 3 issues of X-Men is poster worthy. They're just so fucking good.
Every panel, you can zoom in, take a screenshot, and be like, yes.
Yes.
That's it right there.
Mm-hmm. And he's been he was one of the guys working on Powers and House of X. Like I think this is the first time he's been on a thing for the X-Men since those initial miniseries. So it's good to see him. I hope he stays on this book. I know, like, we have this thing where, like, we got to switch artists around, but this man needs to stay on this book. We need to give him the best books possible. This, I hope he somehow found a way to Drew Inferno. Wishful
Pay this man all the money, please.
Yeah, wishful thinking, I guess. But in any case, Jean Grey, while the rest of them are having a One Piece post-arc party, Jean Grey and Cyclops are out here talking about, what to do about the game world folks, and maybe splitting up the team, sending some folks up there to take the party to them. And Jean Grey and Cyclops play mental rock, paper, scissors to see who wins. I guess Cyclops is going to go up with a small team.
He loses.
Yeah. And the issue ends on a couple of fronts. First, we have the Fei Long guy, who is, the bitter guy who was just very, very upset that the mutants colonized Mars before he could. And he's talking to the guy from Orcus, Mr. Girich, who's basically like, why are you still going to space, even though you might die? And he's like, it's a win-win situation to me. Like, if I survive this experience, I'll have a seat at the Orcus table, and if I fall, you shall have your martyr. So there's that. I guess he's planning on going to Mars with a bunch of rocket ships. Is he about to attack Mars? Jeez.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
good luck, man. The Moroccans ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah, the reason they're even on Mars is because the Iraqis just couldn't stop killing folks. It's you got a tall task ahead of you. This guy is Dr. Stasis, right? The Fei Long guy, or is Dr. Stasis someone else? Because I think he's the same guy who's investigating the mutant resurrection stuff, right?
Okay. I think the guy in the suit, I don't know, are they the same person?
No, not the suit. The Fei Long guy.
With the red skin.
Yeah.
Is he Dr. Stasis, are you asking?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Dr. Stasis is remember the guy that with the family and
you're right.
Everybody fell into this food, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure they're not the same person, I guess. But anyway, that's where we cut over to in Coney Island. Ben Urich is chilling on his own on the park bench, apparently waiting for someone. And that's when Dr. Stasis pulls up and basically on a silver platter hands him the information about the mutant resurrection protocols that are a secret from the rest of the world. And I guess Ben Urich is at a crossroads of whether to reveal this information or not, because this is a pretty big deal. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. Now, that's where the issue ends, by the way, but I don't know how this is going to go, honestly. If he does publish it, it would be massive ramifications, I imagine, for the X-Men line in general. I would like to... It's interesting to see how the world will react to, mutants never being able to die. So, I don't know.
They're going to probably feel some type of way.
Oh, yeah. They won't be thrilled that their biggest secret is out. Something tells me, though, I don't think Ben Urich is going to do it. He tends to be a good guy who's not like sniffing around for stories, and he tends to think more about how things will affect superheroes. He's a Spider-Man supporting character, so
right.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he did put it out, but it'd be interesting to see how it gets out. Because if he doesn't put out, someone's gonna have to put it out. That's where they're inching towards this in this series, is that the world will know about resurrection protocols.
I imagine they used him for a reason. It could have been any old reporter.
Yeah, that's true.
They're gonna at least make him question the morality of it, and maybe he'll come to a decision where he feels like, you know what, I am gonna post it.
Yeah,
I'm salty. Maybe they're gonna have a conversation about resurrection, about why they don't allow humans. Maybe he'll feel away.
Mm-hmm.
and then post it.
Yeah. But overall, X-Men is a solid book of writing, right? It's fine. It's not. It's so far it's just been action issue, action issue, action issue, and the art really carries stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's more on Pepe Larraz's shoulders to carry the book until like more plot things become concrete and whatnot. But so far so good. I'm into it so far. You want to move on to our final book?
Sure.
Let's do the thing. This is X-Men: The Onslaught Revelation. Okay, so this is spun off of the miniseries Way of X, in which Nightcrawler has been trying to build something of a culture, way of life for the Krakoans that inhabit Krakoa right now, because everybody is like kind of going through this weird misinterpretation of the laws of Krakoa, as well as kind of a flippant attitude towards death, taking more risks when they shouldn't, generally devaluing life. So Nightcrawler has been trying to do that, and in their battles, they've been dealing with the return of Onslaught, which is a combination of Xavier and Magneto that has been kind of infecting everyone's minds and releasing their inhibitions one by one, whether it's relates to death and whatnot. It's not a good time, apparently.
No, not at all.
Nightcrawler passed away at the end of that series, but was resurrected, of course. Before he died, he had this epiphany about something known as the Spark. We didn't really get an answer as to what that was yet, but he left kind of a dying word to Fabian Cortez about, just to remind him of the word, and he'll do the rest. But Fabian Cortez was in a coma at the end of the series, so he was never able to deliver the message. And we start off this issue with, I guess, the Krakoans getting ready to do this whole party thing, and Pixie is all of a sudden taken in by Nightcrawler and taken into the altar, which is the mind paradise of Legion, the big old headquarters that Legion has created in his own mind. It's pretty wild, the concept of it. But it turns out that through the explanation of this, of the backstory here, Xavier is apparently being manipulated by Onslaught to delete the backups of every mutant on Krakoa, which is pretty bad because this is how you resurrect people in this. Resurrection is like a twofold thing. You just you bring their body back, but Xavier has all of their consciousness basically stored in Cerebro, and if he deletes those, then the person's essence is essentially gone. So that's a pretty wild plan.
Effective, especially if he's going to make them kill themselves eventually at the end of at the end of the night. It's a very efficient plan.
Oh yeah.
I don't have an issue with Onslaught's plan. I do feel like we kind of skipped ahead or something. Like,
did I miss something?
I don't know. When I first started reading this, I felt like when it was explaining how Professor X was already infiltrated and already deleting the backups and stuff via Onslaught. I thought that like they were setting up the future of the comic, I guess. I mean, like the ending, and then they was gonna show what happened earlier, leading to this. What I'm trying to say is, they jumped from one point to another really quickly.
Yes.
Without really giving, and I thought they were gonna give a little bit more build up, and that effect, I didn't like it.
I'll tell you what, man. I was in the same boat when I read this. I'm like, wait a minute. There's a lot of missing pieces. Like Fabian, it was in a coma completely.
Yes. Why put hm in a coma if he's already good to go right now?
Yeah, and he was still somehow able to deliver the message to Nightcrawler about the Spark. So Nightcrawler's memories are like of what happened are completely back intact.
Fabian basically just wakes up from his coma a little bit later on. I know I'm getting a little bit ahead, but I just want to make a point of that. Like I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, no, I was definitely confused at the opening of this chapter, and we're just kind of like rolling with it from here on out because the situation is what it is. Nightcrawler has taken Pixie, Fabian Cortez, and the new mutant known as Lost over to the Legion mindscape thing, and basically they're getting kind of a civility lesson from Nightcrawler, while at the same time Pixie goes out and frees as many people from Onslaught's grasp as possible using this soul knife, which I actually don't remember where I feel like that was a thing in Way of X, but I don't actually remember when exactly they got that. Do you remember the soul knife at all? I feel like that was the thing, and maybe I'm bugging.
Yeah, I definitely remember it, but it was, I think it was all the way back in the first chapter.
Okay. I mean, I'll take it. I just was wondering, it's like, where was this? Did they do this already in the beginning?
Oh, they got an artifact from somewhere? I think, man.
Yeah, maybe. I'll take your word for it. I feel like that was a thing. I vaguely remember the soul knife. So
it was very quick. They didn't make a big deal of it. They didn't go out of their way to go get it. They just had it.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with that. So she frees a couple people. She frees Dazzler, and a couple mutants whose names I'm not really familiar with. So they're all planning on going out and stopping everyone, because the point of erasing all of the backups is so Onslaught could also manipulate everyone into just killing each other all at the same time. So
like I said, pretty efficient.
I mean, this is the most efficient destroy Krakoa plan I've ever seen. It's really up there.
Orcus went ham.
Yeah, Orcus is still going hand. They're in space building shit in space.
Oh man, they have started war on all fronts. They are about it.
They're relentless, dude.
Fuck them, but
yeah, they won't let up. They're out here. In the meantime, Nightcrawler is giving this civics lesson to Fabian Cortez, talking about using the metaphor of this fish. Leading its school out of danger and whatnot. But yeah, basically he's saying that of course, if the fish has many chances and will always get resurrected, it will not do the right thing, a lot of the time, because life doesn't have value to it. Even if it's getting devoured by a shark, and its friends get devoured by a shark, they know it'll just come back,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a big long thing. It's mostly dialogue, and it leads Fabian to just kind of go on kind of this character development monologue thing where he explains how he was just this rich kid who had power, connections, and wealth, and then he also got superpowers. So he ventured into the world of mutants that are mostly systematically oppressed, except for him because he was born rich. And he describes himself as a persecution tourist.
I was like, whoa, wow.
Yeah, just like a rich kid that just wants to get in on a struggle, even if he doesn't necessarily belong in that struggle.
Yeah.
So, he's talking about how he just wanted to be kind of part of something, and even he realized that even his powers aren't necessarily all that great for himself. His powers are to boost other mutants' powers, so he would never be the main guy ever. So he would do the next best thing and attach himself to the next biggest asshole that he could possibly find, which was, of course, Magneto at the time.
Yeah.
Speaking of the devil, Pixie basically frees Magneto from Onslaught's grasp, and they both go after
by
Charles.
throwing a knife at his head.
Yeah, like
like a Call of Duty, the throwing knife.
Yeah, and
Right in the face.
Magneto couldn't do anything about it because the soul knife is not made out of metal. Pretty cool.
Yes, and if you throw anything at him that's not metal, he'll die.
Yeah, he'll just take it. He'll just be like, "Oh fuck, damn it! I thought it was metal." So, at that point, after Fabian finishes up his little spiel, and that's when Lost comes in, holds his hand, is like, "I can't forgive you because you did kill my entire family, but at the very least today, I don't hate you." And at that point, Lost just starts lighting up Avatar style.
Yeah. She reaches enlightenment.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I wish I could reach this level.
Connect her chakras.
For real. I wish I could reach this enlightenment. Jesus. And basically, because of Fabian reaching out and being vulnerable and explaining himself, giving Lost some perspective about where he's coming from, her ability to accept that and kind of not let it go, but just find some kind of acceptance with who Fabian is and why he did what he did, has reached some kind of enlightened state. And meanwhile, on the outside, the mutants basically calm everyone down and keep everyone from killing each other by guiding everyone into the mindscape, into Legion's mindscape. And
Pixie put in mad work, yo. Well, I guess Nightcrawler helped too.
Yeah, he did his thing. Yeah. And we learned that the way Onslaught actually got in here is because Lost was taken and experimented on by Orcus, those assholes again. And they basically implanted Onslaught into the feelings of hatred that Lost had for Fabian Cortez and just sent her off into Krakoa as kind of a ticking time bomb.
Whoa.
I mean, Orcus does not play games.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, any group in X-Men is particularly brutal. I will say that. Like, a lot of whether it was, Cade Kilgore, those kids, the Verendi kids in their former Hellfire Club, they were also fucking savage as well.
The religious guy.
Yeah, the religious guys. People are particularly brutal to the X-Men. It's pretty wild. Because their attacks are so personal. They really, get into, the foundation of their being. But, now that everybody's, kind of at peace and doing their thing, partying, Onslaught is like, "No, I cannot deal with these positive feelings." And he bursts out in his new form, which is supposed to be more reminiscent of Xavier's current Cerebro, which is just a circle.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking lollipop.
Yeah, he looks
with hands.
Evil, Mr. Evil Lollipop Man. He's just he's got nothing of Magneto left in him. I guess these claws? I don't know. He looks like
metal claws.
He looks like Jack-O-Lantern from Spider-Man, the pumpkin head guy.
Yeah. It just looks like Onslaught lost mad weight. He got fit.
Yeah. No, yeah, because
or maybe that's how he always looked. He just took off that hefty metal.
No, if you look back at
ensemble.
that, there's a 2-page spread that shows that Onslaught is fucking ripped, dude. He's bulky.
Oh, with the sword.
Yeah. He looks like Broly. He's that ripped. And now he's just skinny now. Like current Xavier. So he comes out and to make a long story short, using the power of what's her name? The Suraya. She uses her ability in conjunction with, I guess, Legion to connect everyone through these little particles of dust and create a dust cloud of philosophy around Onslaught.
Yo, have you noticed that Legion's been changing colors?
I haven't noticed that, actually. Oh, yeah, he is. Look. Wow.
And then he was purple before.
Yeah, it was a good catch.
I just noticed that now because I was reading this and I was like, oh, so he's just purple? Okay. And then he was blue hair and green, yeah. So, and he's very okay with it. Look at his face.
Hey, he's like, this is who I am now.
It's totally fine.
Yeah. So, they're done. We get a big explanation page of the spark. And I guess I'll read the excerpt just because it's a very important thing, I guess. Is this is not a mutant religion. This is a way of living, of loving and expressing and fighting and being. It moves us to adapt without restraint. It does not require prayer nor veneration. It does not demand that you put away your old gods. The spark is not jealous. The spark is innovation and risk and mischief and courage. If we allow it to guide us, if we invite it to inspire our thoughts and actions, I truly believe it will save us. The spark is The spark is anathema to meaninglessness. The spark is creative. The spark is patient. The spark is bright and beautiful, despite having no form or mind. In truth, the spark is barely real at all. The spark is just an idea, and yet the spark will burn to ash anyone who, I guess this means fucks with the right of mutants to pursue happiness. And
very nice.
Yeah,
very necessary.
They turn Onslaught into a weird caterpillar thing and crush them in his hands. And the issue ends with a bearded Nightcrawler basically looking over his, I guess, the building of his culture, of a mutant culture. It's more of a mutant culture than a religion. And talking over with Legion over what the next phase is. And apparently Nightcrawler's starting kind of, not police. He says it's not police. But it's not police. We must defend what unites us, not punish the growing pains. So he's like, David's like, so if they're not cops, what are we then? Peacekeepers, shepherds, mutant Jedi? 9. I was thinking legionnaires. And that's where that issue ends. And we get a big cool coming soon, the Legionnaires book.
Nice.
Juggernaut's on this team.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Pixie's on this team. She put in hella work, so she deserves it.
Yeah,
Dr. Faust.
Yeah, no, I think it's Dr. Nemesis.
Okay. Who's Dr. Faust?
Shaman King?
Huh?
Shaman King is a character named Dr. Faust. Anyway, we're going to get more of this type of idea going forward. Well, we got what we asked for in theory.
Yeah.
Wave X is not necessarily ending. It's just transitioning into the Legionnaires book, which is coming soon. I'm curious to see how this goes. I like the idea of Mutant Jedi. I think that's what the closest thing that it's going to be. All those examples that David listed off are basically, explanations. They're not cops.
Yeah.
They're one with the Force, and the Force being the spark, which I am not mad at. I'm interested to see how that is interpreted going down. Josh, do you have any thoughts?
I'm really looking forward to the next, the continuation of this. I think we're going to see it, I don't have too many thoughts because they've already kind of been building up to this. We kind of, I understood what the point was, and I want to see how they go about, quote unquote, and not enforcing it, but I guess recruiting people and really what role is this spark going to play in the overall narrative of the mutant story? This, when they talk about the tower, that was one of the things. That was one of the things they showed early on in Powers of 10, on the tarot card. So I that's what's the most interesting about this, is that there's that promise that this is going to lead to something pretty crucial.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel the same way. I'm excited to see what the Legion. There's been a lot of X books ending, and apparently a few to end. So, I guess they're making way for, more exploration, different types of concepts being explored. Really, the story of Krakoa is the story of humanity in general. Like every story has a theme. And whether it's this being a story about spirituality or, culture, I'm interested to see how they play this out. But that's all I got to say about the Onslaught story. I forget the name. I think we're good to wrap it up. You good to wrap it up, bro?
Yeah, it wasn't the event that I thought it was going to be. It was really just like a
prelude, I'd say.
And in between, it was like a bridge. That's all.
Yeah, I would call.
I understand why they did it. They wanted everyone to look at this. They didn't want people to see it as just the conclusion of Way of X. They wanted to make a point of this, which gives me hope that the next this Legionnaires comic is gonna be critical.
Yeah, no, I would say the same. I would say that maybe Way of X and the Onslaught book are more preludes than series, introductions to what they really wanted to do and explore and flesh out. So,
right.
Very into it. And I think with that being said, we're good to wrap this. Thank you guys for listening. This has been our show. Oh, yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us on our second episode of the week. Very, very cool whenever we get to pull these off. Excited to come back next week, refreshed with new manga, all together. But yeah, without further ado, let's wrap this one. You could find me at the Chris S. Brian at b.esp, Josh at jdcole_37. Follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about, or comment under whatever video you're watching. That would be very nice of you to do. And while you're at it, why don't you subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that like button, smash that share button, and also the corresponding buttons. Yes, do it. We'll see you guys next week. Oh, also subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify. You know the deal. Audio version usually comes out first. But thank you guys so much for listening. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out, guys. Speaking of peace, we keep the peace.